54.
And now, let's go back in the garage with Bodie Stroud.
Hello and welcome back to In the Garage. Today's show, we've been talking about suspension and how to set up camber and caster and what we've been up to. And we got a good friend Brett Vocal who's called in today, and we're going to talk to him. He's the owner of Ride Tech Air Ride Suspensions, and we're going to see what he's been up to. You there, Brett?
Yeah, I'm here, Bodie. How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
I'm just enjoying the Easter weekend. A little bit of beach activity, a little bit of sunshine, all that kind of good stuff.
Nice. Where are you at?
I'm actually in Clearwater, Florida this weekend. Decided we wanted to get warm and have some fun, so we came down here for the weekend to visit some friends.
Well, cool, man. Well, thank you for calling in. I mean, I know you're a busy guy, and I appreciate the call in. You know, that's awesome.
No worries at all. Love to. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah. So what do you guys been up to over there?
Well, we've been busy as heck. Just everything has just taken off in the last few months. Again, everybody's got a little more money to spend, so we've been really busy. And even beyond that, we've been busy building some cars. We've been busy building some new products. There's never a lack of anything to do.
Good.
We just came out with a new True Turn front suspension system for Mustangs.
Yeah, you know what? We actually got a question about that. We have a guy, Justin, who wrote in and asked about, he's got a 1965 Mustang. He says that I'm starting to work on, and want to know if I add air ride suspension, will my car have better handling?
Well, it's very possible that it could. It's kind of interesting that now the tables have turned a little bit. For the last few years, air suspension has kind of gotten the reputation for not being good for handling.
Yeah.
And we've spent years and thousands of dollars to disprove that myth.
Yeah.
I can make an air car handle at least as good as a traditional coil or leaf or torsion bar car, at least as good.
Well, I got to tell you, from my personal opinion, I've been using you guys since you've started. And, the older stuff, and when, what people don't understand is when you're in the trial and error process, or, the R&D process of this whole thing and perfecting something, that it does, it gets better with time. I mean, because I can tell a total difference from one of your air ride kits, 10 years ago or whatever, till now. And I mean, it's night and day. I mean, we just finished a 66 Lincoln that handles unbelievably.
Sure. And everybody goes through that. Look at the early Corvettes. Really up to about 82, the difference between those C1, 2, and 3 cars and now the C6 car.
Yeah.
There's just no comparison. So everybody goes through the same thing.
Yeah.
And, we've spent a huge amount of time creating simple bolt-on improvements to these muscle cars to improve the handling. And it's been very successful for us.
That's awesome. I mean, so you guys spend a lot of time of redoing geometry as well, and like...
Oh, yeah.
So when you get a
definitely.
car, do you just start? Do you figure out, like, okay, this is the ride height I'd like to see this car, so let's figure out our geometry and stance and everything, and go from that point?
Exactly. We'll mock the car up at our end, which is more than, depending on a lot of factors: tire clearance, ground clearance, suspension geometry, and architecture. A lot of different things there. And then we'll start cycling that suspension through its travel, and we'll find out what it does wrong. Ideally, when we compress that suspension, we want the tire to lean into the turn, and most older muscle cars, especially GM cars, don't do that, so we have to go fix that. Most of the time, you can't get enough caster into them, so we fix that with the shape of the control arms, the position of the ball joints, and everything.
Yeah, there you go.
Typically, the steering systems are somewhere south of atrocious, so we go in and try to fix that. And we try to do that in the most efficient way possible with bolt-on parts that anybody can install in their driveway or garage. And we try to keep it from being a fabrication nightmare.
Oh, yeah, and you guys, I'm telling you do an awesome job of it. I mean, like I said, we just did that 66 Lincoln, and everything bolted right up. I mean, it was a real simple deal. I mean, I couldn't believe it. And I'm telling you, the way it handled was unbelievable. It was almost like the factory suspension was in it.
The Lincoln application is kind of an interesting story in itself. my engineer, Britt Maroff, has got a 66 Lincoln convertible. And he said, hey, there's a bunch of these guys out here that want air suspensions for Lincolns. We're going to build a bolt-on suspension for Lincolns. I said, well, you're going to do it on your own time because we ain't going to sell but 2 of them, and we'll probably end up giving 1 of them away. So he did. He built it on his own time, and I can't explain it, but we've sold hundreds of them.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, I had to go back and say, hey, you need to turn in your time for that and then some, because I was wrong about that. It's been an amazing car.
Oh yeah, I just got a 69 Lincoln, which are very similar, and I'm telling you, I got to get an air ride kit from you guys. I mean, because when this 66 is slammed all black and everything on the ground, that thing looks so bitchin'.
Cool. Yeah, they are cool cars. You know, I'm talking about air suspension, and we have recently expanded into coilovers as well now too.
Yeah, that's what Mitchell here was talking about. Saying a little bit about you guys is that you've gone into the coilover side of it.
Yep, we kind of an interesting story behind that. We got hooked up with Fox shocks about 6 or 7 years ago on a military project, and we became such a fan of their product and their manufacturing process and their business process that the conversation turned towards hot rod shocks, and they're like, well, we build the stuff already. Why don't we just build them for you? I said, well, why not? And
yeah,
I didn't realize how big an opportunity there was in that market. The stuff has just been on fire, absolutely on fire. It really, really works nice.
Yeah, no, and I mean, that's another thing. I'm hoping we get our little trophy from you at the end of the year, because we've been selling air ride kits like crazy the last few months. We got to get salespeople of the year or something.
Well, I'll make sure and look into that.
Or my picture on the wall,
your way.
Yeah, I want my picture on the wall that says salesperson of the month.
Well, you'll have to come out and visit us sometime. I mean, we got about 60,000 square feet. I got 37 people out there, and we're working our asses off.
Man, good for you. Hey, we're getting ready to take a break here, but you still got a minute? Can you hang on through the break?
No problem at all. Sure. Yeah,
okay, cool. I don't want to screw up your vacation time or whatever. So you just tell me if you're running out of time. All right.
Well, we're about 6 o'clock this evening.
Okay, cool. Well, we're gonna take a break here, and we'll be right back.
Need to check your oil? Be quick, because we'll be right back in the garage with Bodie Stroud.